All right, so 3 billion.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 billion active monthly users on Facebook.
That's a lot of people.
That's insane. It really is. For a lot of us, it's where we, see pictures of our family,
Right.
keep up with our friends, scroll through memes.
Exactly.
But what if it wasn't just for that?
Yeah.
What if that was a place where you could actually make money?
That's what we're talking about today.
Yeah, that's what we're going to dive into, and I think it's a really exciting possibility. And when you consider that many people in one virtual space, it does seem like there's got to be a way to...
Yeah, the opportunities there are kind of limitless.
Okay.
I mean, it really is like a digital continent
It is, yeah.
teeming with potential.
Yeah. And we're going to cut through all the noise today and really just give you actionable advice about how you can use Facebook to make money.
Yeah, whether it's a side hustle or, maybe even a full-time gig.
Exactly. And we're going to be using an article from blogwidow.com called Want to Earn Money from Facebook. Here are some options. Yeah, it's catchy, and it was published just very recently on March 26, 2025. And it lays out a bunch of different ways that you can actually make money using Facebook. So we're going to go through those, and hopefully you'll come away with a really clear understanding of how you can do it and how it might fit into your own life.
Sounds great.
Okay, so the first one they talk about is Facebook Marketplace.
Okay.
And I like the way they describe it as a local online yard sale.
Right, yeah, because it is like that, but obviously with a much wider reach.
Exactly. Yeah, you're not limited to just your neighborhood or the people that drive by your house.
Right, exactly. And I think that's the real appeal of it, is that you can buy and sell with people in your community, but on a much larger scale.
Right. And it's for all kinds of stuff. They say new or used items, furniture, electronics, clothing, even collectibles.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
So if you have something that you want to sell, what's the basic process? Like, how do you get it up on Marketplace?
Well, the process is actually pretty simple. You just take a few pictures of your item, and you want to make sure they're good pictures, because that can really make a difference in whether or not it sells.
It does, yeah.
Write a clear and detailed description, set your price, and post it. And then interested buyers can message you directly through Facebook Messenger, and you can arrange a time and place to meet up.
So easy.
Yeah, it's super straightforward.
And no listing fees.
That's a big one.
That is a big one. Yeah, it's free to list stuff on there.
Yeah, unlike some other online selling platforms where you have to pay a percentage or a listing fee.
Right.
Facebook Marketplace, you keep all the profit.
That's awesome.
Yeah, which is great if you're just decluttering, just trying to make a little extra money.
Right.
Without any additional cost.
Now, the article mentions a success tip, and I think this is really interesting. They say you should consider offering shipping.
Oh, yeah.
To reach a wider audience.
Because that's going to open up your possibilities beyond just your local area.
Right. So how does that work?
So while Facebook Marketplace is inherently local, because you're usually meeting up with people in person, to exchange the goods offering shipping opens up your listings to potential buyers across a much larger region, even nationwide.
So you could essentially be selling stuff to people all over the country.
Exactly. And that could be really beneficial if you have something unique or niche that might not have a strong local demand.
Right.
Of course, you have to factor in the cost of shipping and the logistics of packaging and all that.
Sure.
But it's a great way to tap into a much larger market.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, so that's Facebook Marketplace.
Okay.
Now, Facebook Shops.
Right.
This one sounds a little more involved.
Yeah, it's definitely a step up from Marketplace in terms of commitment.
Yeah, it sounds more like, you're setting up shop, like a real business.
Exactly. It's not just about selling individual items. It's about creating a storefront like you would on a dedicated e-commerce website.
Okay, so this is like if you're serious about selling stuff online.
Yeah, you're building a brand.
Okay, and it's integrated with Instagram too.
Yeah, so you can showcase your products, manage your inventory, process payments, all within the Facebook ecosystem.
So you don't even have to leave Facebook to do all that.
Nope, it's all right there.
They talk about the setup process. They say you have to link your business page and upload your product listings.
Yeah, so first you need a Facebook business page for your brand.
Okay.
And then you can go into the settings and create a shop.
So you upload the pictures and descriptions, set your prices.
Exactly. You can also organize your items into categories or collections.
So people can browse easier?
Exactly. And you can customize the look of your shop to match your brand.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty slick.
Now, here's something that really caught my eye. They talk about the integration with e-commerce platforms like Shopify.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
That's huge. So if you're already using Shopify or thinking about using it, why is this such a big deal?
Well, it basically streamlines everything
Okay.
because it creates a seamless connection between your Facebook shop and your Shopify store. So all your product listings, inventory levels, order details,
It's all connected.
it's all synced up automatically.
So you're not managing two separate systems?
Nope, it's all in one place, which saves a ton of time and hassle.
And you don't have to worry about making mistakes.
Exactly. And it also means you can leverage all of Shopify's advanced e-commerce features within Facebook.
That's awesome. Okay. And then they give us a success tip for Facebook shops, they say, to really take advantage of Facebook's advertising tools.
Oh yeah, that's key.
Okay. So how can Facebook ads help drive traffic to your shop?
Well, Facebook ads are really powerful because you can target very specific groups of people
Okay.
based on their demographics, interests, behaviors, even their past interactions with your page.
So you're not just throwing your ads out there to anyone.
Nope, you're showing them to the people who are most likely to be interested.
That makes a lot of sense.
So if you create compelling ads and target the right audience,
You can get a lot of people to your shop.
exactly, and hopefully turn them into paying customers.
Okay. Awesome. So that's Facebook shops. Let's move on to Facebook groups now.
All right.
And they talk about monetizing your passion in your community.
Yeah, so this is all about building a community of people who share your interests
Okay.
and then finding ways to generate income from that.
So it's not just about having a group where people chat.
No, you can actually turn it into a business.
Okay, so how do you do that?
Well, there are a few different ways you can do it.
Okay.
One way is to charge membership fees.
Okay, so like a subscription.
Exactly. So you offer exclusive content or benefits to members who pay a monthly fee.
Okay, so like what kind of exclusive content?
Well, it depends on the group.
Okay.
But for example, a group for online entrepreneurs might offer exclusive webinars or coaching sessions.
Okay, that makes sense.
Or a fitness group might provide members-only workout routines or personalized feedback.
So you're giving people something extra for their money?
Exactly.
Okay, what's another way to monetize a Facebook group?
Well, you can also do sponsored posts.
Sponsor posts.
So once your group has a good number of engaged members,
Okay.
brands might be interested in paying you to promote their products or services to your group.
Oh, okay, so you're basically like an influencer within your group.
In a way, yeah.
Okay.
So you might create a post that highlights the brand's offering,
Okay.
maybe share your personal experience with it or offer a discount code to your members.
But you have to be transparent about it, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
You have to disclose that it's a sponsored post.
Okay.
So for example, if you run a popular hiking group,
Okay.
a company that sells outdoor gear might pay you to write a post reviewing one of their new backpacks.
Oh, that's a good example. Okay. And then they talk about selling digital products within a group.
Yeah, this can be a great way to monetize your expertise.
Okay, so what kind of digital products are we talking about?
Or you could offer ebooks that provide in-depth guides on topics related to the group's theme,
Okay.
or online courses that teach specific skills.
Okay.
You could also sell downloadable templates, checklists, recordings of past webinars, things like that.
Okay.
The key is to create products that your members actually want and need.
Right. So if you have a cooking group focused on vegan recipes,
Okay.
you could sell an ebook of your most popular recipes.
Exactly.
Okay. Now they have a really important success tip for this. They say you should focus on growing an active and engaged community first.
Yeah, that's so important.
Okay, before you even think about monetizing it.
You've got to build trust.
Right.
Because people join Facebook groups to connect with others,
Right.
to learn something new,
Right.
to find support.
So if you're just trying to sell them stuff right away.
Yeah, they're going to feel like you're just using them,
Right.
and they're going to leave.
So you have to build that relationship first.
Exactly. Give them valuable content.
Okay.
Facilitate engaging discussions.
Okay.
Make them feel like they're part of a community.
And then once you've done that,
Then you can start thinking about monetization.
because they'll trust you.
Exactly.
All right, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which is Facebook ads. And this is interesting because they're talking about becoming an expert in Facebook ads and actually offering that as a service to businesses.
Yeah, because while Facebook ads can be really effective,
Right.
they can also be really complicated.
Especially for small businesses.
Yeah, they might not have the time or the expertise to manage their own campaigns.
So they hire someone else to do it.
Exactly, and that's where you come in.
Okay, so you would essentially be a freelance ad manager.
That's right.
What would that involve? What would you actually be doing?
Well, you would start by understanding the client's business goals and their target audience.
Okay.
Then you would develop an advertising strategy, create the ads themselves,
Okay.
set up and manage the campaigns,
Okay.
monitor their performance,
Yeah.
analyze the data,
Okay.
and make adjustments as needed.
So it's a lot of data analysis.
Yeah, it's a big part of it.
And making sure the campaigns are actually working.
Right, because you want to get the best results for your client.
Yeah.
And the great thing is that a lot of small businesses are looking to outsource this.
So there's a lot of demand.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity out there.
Okay. And they give a success tip for this, they say, to consider taking online courses or getting certifications.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Okay. And to build a portfolio to showcase your skills.
So you can show potential clients what you can do.
Right. So even if you're just starting out, you can run some test campaigns for yourself.
Exactly. Or offer to do some free work for friends or family.
Just to get some experience.
Yeah, and build up your portfolio.
Okay, that's a good tip. Now let's talk about affiliate marketing.
Oh,
which is a really popular way to make money online.
yeah, it's been around for a while.
It has, and they talk about how you can do it on Facebook.
Right.
So you basically recommend products or services.
Using unique affiliate links.
Okay, so when someone clicks on your link
And makes a purchase.
you get a commission.
Exactly.
Okay, so where do you share these links on Facebook?
Well, you can share them in regular posts
Okay.
on your personal profile or business page.
Okay,
You can also share them in relevant Facebook groups.
with the admin's permission, of course.
Of course.
You can also put them in video descriptions or even mention them during live streams.
Yeah, there are lots of options.
Okay, now they mentioned some popular affiliate programs like Amazon Associates, ClickBank, and ShareASale.
Yeah, those are some big ones.
What kind of stuff can you promote through these programs?
Pretty much anything you can think of.
Wow.
Amazon Associates lets you promote any products sold on Amazon.
Wow, so that's millions of products.
Millions, yeah.
Okay, and ClickBank and ShareASale, they focus more on digital products?
Like ebooks, online courses, software.
Okay, but they have physical products too.
They do, and they also have services.
Wow, so you could find an affiliate program for anything.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they give us a success tip for affiliate marketing, and this is really important, they say, to only promote products that you actually believe in.
Yeah, you have to be authentic. Because if you're just constantly pushing products that you don't care about,
Right.
people are going to see right through that.
And they're going to lose trust in you.
Exactly, and they're not going to buy anything.
So you have to choose products that are a good fit for your audience.
And that you genuinely think will be helpful to them.
Right. And you shouldn't overdo it either, right?
No, you don't want to spam people.
Right.
Just be natural and authentic.
Okay, good advice. All right, now let's talk about video content. They talk about Facebook Creator Studio.
Yeah.
And how you can monetize your videos on Facebook.
Yeah, just like you can on YouTube.
Exactly. So if you're a video creator...
This is a great way to make money.
Okay, so how does it work?
Well, the main way is through in-stream ads.
Okay.
So Facebook places ads within your videos,
Okay.
and you get a share of the ad revenue.
Based on the number of views.
Exactly.
Now, they do mention that there are some eligibility requirements.
Yeah, you can't just start monetizing right away.
Okay, so what do you have to do?
Well, you generally need to have at least 10,000 followers on your Facebook page.
Okay.
And at least 30,000 one-minute views on videos that are over 3 minutes long.
Wow, so you have to have a pretty decent following.
Yeah, you need to have built up an audience.
Right. Okay, so it takes some time and effort.
It does. But if you're consistent and you create good content,
You can get there.
you can definitely get there.
Okay, now besides in-stream ads, they also mention fan subscriptions and brand partnerships.
Oh, yeah. Those are other great ways to monetize your videos.
Okay, so how do fan subscriptions work?
Well, basically, your most loyal fans can pay a monthly fee
Okay.
to support your work.
Okay.
And in return, they get exclusive perks.
Like what kind of perks?
Well, it could be bonus videos, behind-the-scenes content,
Okay.
early access to new videos, personalized shout-outs, things like that.
So it's a way for your fans to directly support you.
Exactly.
Okay, what about brand partnerships?
Well, that's when you collaborate with brands
Okay.
to create sponsored videos. So you feature their products or services in your videos,
Okay.
and they pay you for it.
Okay, now the success tip for this one is to create engaging and shareable content,
Yeah, that's key.
which makes sense.
Because the more people watch your videos,
Right.
the more ad revenue you'll generate.
And if they share your video...
Then even more people will see them.
Exactly. So it's all about creating content that people want to watch.
And share with your friends.
All right. Now let's talk about Facebook influencer marketing.
Okay.
This is where you can get paid to promote products or services.
If you have a large and engaged following.
Exactly. So how do these partnerships actually happen?
Well, sometimes brands will reach out to influencers directly.
Okay.
But you can also join influencer marketing agencies or platforms
Okay.
that connect influencers with brands.
Okay.
Or it can happen organically if a brand notices an influencer who's already a fan of their products.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there are a few different ways it can happen.
Okay, now what kind of content do influencers usually create for these partnerships?
Well, it can vary depending on the brand and the influencer,
Okay.
but it often includes creating authentic posts,
Okay.
engaging stories, or compelling videos
Okay.
that feature the brand's products or services.
So they might show how they use the product in their daily life.
Exactly. Or share their honest opinions about it.
Okay, and what about the payment? How does that usually work?
Well, it can be per post,
Okay.
per campaign,
Okay.
or even a longer-term brand ambassadorship.
Okay, so it depends on the agreement.
Yeah, it varies.
Okay, now they give a success tip for this one, and it's to build an authentic connection with your audience.
That's so important
Okay, why is that so crucial?
because brands want to work with influencers who have a genuine relationship with their followers.
Okay.
If your audience trusts you,
Right.
they're more likely to listen to your recommendations.
And buy the products you're promoting.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's all about being authentic and building trust. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which is Facebook paid events.
Right?
So this is a really interesting one. You can actually host online events.
And charge people to attend,
Exactly. So it's like hosting a webinar or a workshop.
but you're getting paid for it.
Yeah, so if you have expertise in a particular area.
This is a great way to monetize it.
Okay, so what kind of events can you host?
Well, you could do online classes,
Okay.
workshops, webinars, fitness classes, really anything that you can teach online.
Okay, so how does it work? Do you have to handle the ticketing and payments yourself?
No, Facebook handles all of that
Oh, wow. So you just create the event, set the price.
and promote it.
Okay, and Facebook takes care of the rest.
Exactly. They handle the registration, the payments, everything.
Wow, that's really convenient.
Yeah, it makes it really easy.
Now, they do give a success tip for this one, they say, to choose a topic that you're passionate about.
Yeah, that's key.
Okay,
Yeah.
why is that so important?
Because your passion will shine through
Okay.
and your audience will be more engaged. You also want to make sure that there's actually demand for your topic.
Right, so you're not just teaching something that nobody's interested in.
Exactly.
Okay, and they also say to make the event interactive.
Yeah, you don't want it to be just a lecture.
Right.
You want to get people involved.
So do Q&A sessions,
Live poll.
breakout groups.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
Okay, so it's all about making it a valuable experience for the attendees.
Absolutely.
Okay, and the last one we're going to talk about today is for the gamers out there.
All right.
Becoming a Facebook gaming partner.
Oh, yeah.
So you can actually make money from playing video games.
Sounds like a dream come true.
It does, right? So how does it work?
Well, it's similar to streaming on Twitch.
Okay.
You stream your gameplay live on Facebook,
Okay.
and you can earn money through donations,
Yeah.
sponsorships, and ads.
Now, is there a difference between just streaming on Facebook and becoming a partner?
Yeah, there is.
All right.
When you become a partner, you unlock certain monetization features.
Okay, so what kind of features?
Well, you can get in-stream ads,
Okay.
where Facebook plays ads during your streams.
Okay.
You can also get viewer donations through Stars,
SARS.
which is Facebook's virtual currency.
Okay.
And you can potentially get sponsorships from gaming brands,
Oh, wow. So you
Yeah.
can really turn your gaming hobby into a career.
if you're good enough, yeah.
Okay. Now, they do mention that there's a program called Level Up.
Yeah, it's kind of like a stepping stone to becoming a partner.
Okay, so what do you have to do to get into the Level Up program?
Well, you need to meet certain criteria,
Okay.
like having a certain number of followers,
Okay.
getting a certain number of views on your streams,
Okay.
and streaming regularly.
Okay, so it's all about building an audience and being consistent.
Exactly.
Okay. And then once you're in the Level Up program, you can apply to become a partner.
That's right.
And then you get access to those monetization features.
Exactly.
Okay. And they also mentioned that you can get direct sponsorships from gaming brands.
Yeah, as your audience grows. Brands might be interested in sponsoring your streams
Okay.
or collaborating with you on content.
Okay, and that can be a really good source of income.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, the success tip for this one is to build a strong community.
Yeah, you got to connect with your viewers.
Right.
Respond to their comments.
Oh,
Answer their questions.
okay.
Make them feel like they're part of something.
Right. And you have to stream regularly, too.
Yeah, consistency is key.
Okay, so it's all about building relationships and being consistent.
Exactly.
Wow, so we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
That's a lot of different ways to make money on Facebook.
It's amazing how many options there are.
It really is. And it just goes to show you that Facebook is more than just a social networking site.
It's a platform with a lot of potential.
Yeah, it is. And for you, our listener, the key takeaway here is to figure out which of these options is the best fit for you.
Right. What are your skills?
Or your interests.
How much time do you have?
Exactly. You might even have a hobby or a passion.
That you can turn into a business.
Exactly. So think about it.
Explore the possibilities
What unique value can you offer?
that could turn your Facebook presence into a source of income
And what's that first small step
that you can take today.
to start exploring that possibility?
It's out there.
Is...
Just got to find it.
That's right. Thanks for listening, everybody.
See ya.
See you next time.
Bye.